Hello and welcome. It is the 30th day and final day of September 2021. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and amongst the like within each his own risk and their own reward. First thing, however, let me just do this so you can see this. On my YouTube page, it says action required. Turn on step 2 verification by the start of November, or you will lose access to YouTube Studio. And as it goes, that means whether I want to or not, I don't want to give them my phone number. This will most certainly be 4 or 5 weeks left, and that will be it for any content amongst this channel. Haven't been too happy with either BitChute or Rumble yet lately either, so it really brings it to a very interesting situation. But as that goes anyway, still another month before it comes to a completion. Bitcoin, just man hanging in there, declining 18 average, establishing this level of support, but after breaking down, doing so not matching previous low. This high, coming close to this one in here, but if we take a look at this amongst the 4-hour term, hey, weekend levels not seen here, or getting above this high in here. And we see this on the hourly. It's just in a nice, beautiful run, having very little resistance amongst this key Fibonacci level. In fact, you can see it just a bit on the 15 for a few periods. And amongst the one, resisted it some more, congested amongst it. Then it got above it, supported it, lifted off from it, and is up several percentage points, about 4 for the day. So far, 5.13. But again, still a long ways to go within the declining 18. It's got to get and hold above, stay above that type of stuff. And even there, you're looking at near that of about 46,000. And pretty much since it got above January of this year, so basically year to date, it has stayed within this range of holding and staying above 30,000. And being that it's 43, it's gotten up near 60. Yeah, pretty much near the middle part of the range. Moving on to silver, which has technically made levels not seen since mid-July of the previous year. Or back to this level of support, but it really does look to me as if this is heading to about $20 per ounce, and where we go from there. And I think that's conservative because I even think 18 and change. But for a conservative spot where I'd be thinking, where I see the price barely above 20, that's when it's time to buy, for me anyway. So we hit this level here in September, rally up, yeah, whatever. Come back down, don't break down, but a retest at that point. And then has a decent sized rally making a few higher highs, but this was ultimately a failed breakout at the start of February this year. It took a while to retest it because the 24 area was able to hold as support 2 times nicely. It held here and it held here. But then when it came back down to it this previous August, not so much. And this was an indication to me on August the 9th that it was statement retesting this level. It had this amount of time that we're going to retest it, or we're going to retest rather, the 2086 level. It's been taking a while to do so, but nothing has stopped this downward momentum. For it had a breakout here in the start of September, but it was a failed breakout, getting above this that level here, trying to get above a newly rising 18. But it failed within this level here. The whole must-hold area obviously not doing so on the September 16th session, and then resisting starting on September 17th up this previous level of support in here and really in here. So I see days where it was resisting what has been major support before. So that tells me going to next key level. One of the things that I usually say in the channel within these markets, within the fibs, more times than not, you usually get Pierce extras. Well, less times than not, you get Pierce lesses, I guess. When I see a situation like this, I mean, this is didn't touch it on these levels. So this, if you think if it comes down here, I'd be saying Pierce Extra, and that would be about the same distance from line to line kind of deal. So yeah, this is Pierce less. But when I see something like that where it misses it, supports it a bit, and now it looks like it's going to break down to a new leg lower where we stand like this, I generally think it's going to really crush this level, which is why I'm thinking 18. When I look at this little area here, this is like 18 area where it came from. So I'd be looking at like what will be a 50% retracement. And that's really what I'm looking forward to do. Now, whether it goes down and does a 61A, touches, maybe comes down on the 16 and 2/3 level, well, we'll see. But obviously, the way these markets are moved, the fact that I can put a monthly chart like this up and show that we are significantly lower than these 1980 highs. And just another way of looking at it too is this. So you see this congesting from this low here about like $4 or $5, underpriced, but maybe it shouldn't have gotten any more than 16, 18, or 20 for that time. You might be saying, okay, but even if we look at this like $4 or $5 price and realize that we are like 5, 6 times higher than that now, what was a decent sized price for the stock market back then? The Dow, that is. 700, 600. I mean, we're not talking the highest prices, but the mid prices, like 5. Even the higher prices, like 1,000. Oh, times that by 5 or 6. That means, oh, imagine how big it would be if the Dow was 5 or 6,000. Dow's over 30,000. It's been a market that has been majorly under suppressed, but what occurred back in the day here? We've seen the price at $1.25 down here. $1.25 to 50. That's like a 40x move. If we 40x from our general area of $20 or so from here, that takes you to 800. And I even think it can outdo this move. But it got to the stage where it went from like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like it's nothing. And I do believe those days are going to come when those time will be, when that time is ready, or at that, whenever that is, 1 month, 1 year, 1 decade from now, however long, where it goes 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, like it's like nothing. That's the type of events. And again, this was like 125 up to 50. That's a 40x move. And I wouldn't be surprised if a significantly monster move would, well, just beat that. And then again, you move from like this 15, 20 level, and yeah, the 1,000 level could happen in one decent sized leg. That could happen over 20, 30, 40, 50 periods, or 2, 3, 4 years on a major situational big move. But as it goes, if I'm looking for this to see signs of, okay, it looks like things like the big inflation scares are here, everything's going to get out of control in this world. If you're looking at this chart, not even close. Now, what's interesting about today's move was that of gold versus silver, as the move today was down like 4.37%. Gold's down day today was like 1%. So, and actually, when even earlier, it was even less than that when I seen it, but not as much of a move. Now, as far as the gold chart is concerned, it's just so neutral within the sideways consolidation. When you look at this amongst the weekly chart, and a very, very good, decent time from key high to key low. And I'm going to look at another chart that pretty much has the same pattern, which is gold, but it's going to be the monthly chart or monthly time frame. But you have key high to key low, and then you go sideways for quite some time. A little bit of a down move. This downtrend is basically a little sideways. So consolidating what has been now in play since, a little bit over a year. But when you look at this to me looks just so similar to like just going nice little run of higher highs and higher lows amongst the 18, and then consolidation. When you look at this on the monthly, there's a higher highs and higher lows, and there's your consolidation. As $250 an ounce back in here, then you go up close to like 1900, 1900 or so. Consolidate for quite some time, and still congesting here and consolidating within the 18 average, and it got down there when last November or so, about a year ago. So it's been just whatever, always around the same prices, and it's been quite a while of that of a consolidation time. And we're doing this, or this is during a time frame when the amount of created currency just keeps on rising large and large in all countries in the world. And more people on a day to day level, week to week, month to month, year to year, are understanding words like the word what fiat means, or how they might understand the dollars in your bank account are actually not yours. It's a debt, it's a loan. So it's accounts receivable in accounting terms, which when you want it, you ask for. And then you can learn things about bank runs, and then you learn things about hyperinflation of previous times of the world and different places. So more and more people get educated as such. And when that happens, there are really, to me, only three things to get into for the most part as far as investing class. Number one, precious metals. So there's the gold and silver. And I showed the first one right off the bat with Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrencies as well, which is the second. And the third is other. Literally, like stuff. Like what can you buy and store? Even things like artwork, comic books, hockey cards, video games that you can just store in the collector levels, hockey jerseys, history, anything that can store value. And even just miscellaneous. Maybe you're even talking about you can store this type of emergency food that, hey, I can use it and I can trade it later on. I'm going to buy more than I need, yada yada. Someone has an investment idea. Hey, whatever you want to do, you want to do. But those are the things that people are going to be getting into. Alrighty, thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.